Hello, welcome back to Deadly Effigy. I'm Luke Logau, and today I'm going to show you how to glaze. This, just by the way, this format, I thought this was going to be a short, but it turned into something a bit larger, so sorry about the aspect ratio here. Alright, first things first, any painting can be glazed. But what I like to do is make sure that I'm not painting anything too dark, and I'm only using brown and white here. You can use any brown. Brown is going to be my darkest color on here. I like to have a little wiggle room to be able to make things darker with the glaze. You can always go lighter, but you want some wiggle room to get a little darker. And make sure you get your shadows right when you're doing this first painting. So yeah, you'll see that I'm going and getting super detailed in here. Just making sure all my forms are right. I was kind of experimenting a little bit with the hair here. This is all painted on a enamel painted board. So I was doing a little bit of a reduction painting at the beginning there, where I was kind of scrubbing it off. And it's basically like if you've ever used a scratch board before, where you can scratch it and get white lines. And I do some of that in the hair here, just for very fine details. Came out really well. I think I'll do that again. Anyway, while I was thinking of what could I do that would be interesting with light here, I thought I'll put a lightning bug on this guy's forehead. Well, I say guy very loosely here. I don't know what this character is or if they even care to gender themselves. Who doesn't like a lightning bug? Everybody likes lightning bugs. Yeah, you can see there I had to scratch some of the paint away because I had a bit of a paint glob. Just a quick thing about hands. I know a lot of people have trouble with hands. Just spend a few days looking at your hands and drawing them, really. When I was a kid, I'm sure a lot of artists out there can relate when you would draw a character and you would hide the hands. You know, a superhero, he's wearing a cape and oh, his hands are just in the cape, or somebody standing with their hands in their pockets or something like that. So I know how you feel if you have trouble with hands. Thing is, we look at our hands all day long. Just take some time to actually study them and draw them a few times. I'm going to do a video breaking down hands, I believe, because I have a way of looking at them that I think might be kind of interesting. Just a slightly lighter value. Put a vein on there. And these hands don't need to be, I mean, I didn't want to make them all that detailed because they're not really that important to the painting. So I wanted them to be brushy and have the forms be right, but just Nothing too fancy schmancy. Now I'm getting ready to glaze. Here's one of my tricks. I have these two very bright neon paint colors here, the green and the pink. They're bright neon, but they're also very transparent. So I mix those two together to get kind of a skin tone. And then I just mix in a bit of floating medium with that and start going in and toning this. I go right for the areas that I know should have a lot of blood flow, should have a lot of shadow, and I work my way up from there. So the lips, around the eyes, the tip of the nose, under the cheekbones, ears. And just work your way up, you know? Don't go slapping it on so thick that you have to go through and paint everything white again. And here I'm just going in with some bright yellow and a little bit of that neon green for the light of the lightning bug. And I really love this glazing technique because it's so subtle. And since we started with a brown painting, that's half the work right there if you're painting skin tones. You don't have to get in there and paint every last area. And I do go in some spots with a little bit of white and just kind of glaze over a little white on some of the wrinkles just to get a bit more of a glare in certain areas. And I'm just doing the same thing to the lightning bug here too. A little bit of orange, a little bit of white on the wings there for a little light glare. A little bit of blue too to get that kind of iridescent bug shell look. And then I go into the cracks with some bright yellow to really brighten those up and a little bit more white there. And here's a great trick. When painting the shadows, get just pretty much pure blue and just do a thin glaze. And that will suggest a lot of things. That suggests shadow for this person. It suggests a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow as well. And here's a little bit more of a real-time me painting some stubble. You can barely see what I'm doing, but trust me, I felt I was doing something, I guess. This is sped up now. If you're afraid of color, this is a great way to get into painting color. And I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share it with somebody who you think would maybe learn something or would enjoy it. And here's the finished piece. Thanks for watching, everybody.